Hi, Alicia Taverner, licensed marriage and family therapist and owner of Rancho Counseling. One of the things that I really love is helping moms and teaching them ways to cope with some of the stresses and the anxiety that come along with motherhood. So today I'm going to teach you a little bit about mindfulness, which is the focus of my Mindful Moms group. So what is mindfulness? Well, it's pretty much what it sounds like. Mindfulness is just really bringing your attention to what's happening in the present moment. And so this includes what's happening in your internal experience, like what's happening in your body, as well as what's happening in your external experience. What do you see? What do you hear? What do you smell? And so why is this so helpful? Well, we have a way of going through life on autopilot. We can often be doing things without even recognizing what we're doing. And so if you have an anxious mind, it's really easy to be parenting and going through the motions, but really missing out on what's happening. I often think of a woman's brain like a web browser. You know, it's got like 100 different tabs open at the top, and we toggle back and forth through each of those tabs at any given moment. And so it's often difficult to stop, and it can take over and just create these feelings of just being overwhelmed and anxious because it can feel like it's just never ending. But creating a new reality takes practice, and mindfulness is a practice, much like yoga. So the more that you do it, the stronger that muscle will get in your brain. It's kind of like working out any other muscle that you would at the gym. There's a ton of ways to practice mindfulness, but the easiest is to just pick a designated activity and start with that. So I like to do it while enjoying a cup of coffee or a cup of tea. And so I choose to do this when my kids are asleep or when they're out of the house, when I can find some quiet time to myself. So from start to finish, what you'll do is you'll challenge yourself to focus only on that task at hand and engage and pay attention to each of your senses while you're doing this task. So while you're brewing your cup of coffee or tea, take the time to smell it as it seeps. While you're pouring in the water or while the coffee is brewing, notice the aroma. Notice what the cup feels like in your hands and take notice of the warmth or any edges or writing on the cup. As you take a sip, do it slowly. And notice what it feels like as it enters your mouth, as it sits on your tongue, and then as it goes down your throat and into your stomach. You're going to want to drink the entire cup slowly and engage all of your senses each time you take a sip. And so this entire exercise might take about 15 minutes, but really, when was the last time that you truly enjoyed a cup of coffee or tea? Mine typically sits on the table and gets cold by the time I get to it because I'm doing 100 other things. But you can do this with anything you'd like. You can do it with a small glass of juice, water, a piece of fruit, or toast. But once you've done this exercise, then you can learn to translate it to any other activity in your life, including those moments with your little ones, that you really want to be more present for. While giving a bath, for example, close all of those tabs in your brain's browser and just start to engage your senses. What does the water feel like? What do the bubbles look like? What do they smell like? What do they sound like? What do your kiddos' giggles sound like? Engage and play with them. Give them some extra kisses and notice their soft little skin against your lips. Sing a song and just be present in that moment. It's not always easy, and trust me, I've had my fair share of rushed baths full of tears and tantrums, but when I go into this process with the mindset that I really want to be present, things seem to turn out so much better. And oftentimes, stress comes in when we feel overwhelmed with our to-do lists, and that's in our minds. And we start to feel as though what we're presently doing is just one more thing on that list, and that makes it really difficult to enjoy. So remember, mindfulness is a practice, and it takes time to implement any kind of change, and support goes a long way. So if you're interested in learning more about my Mindful Moms group, just click below on the link and it will take you to my website where you can learn more about this group. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll talk with you again soon.